were the bad uns before even owed. Us. That's who. Oh, they'd round us up. Or drown us down. Lest we come. Ooh, witches. And they were right. Aha! Ere blue blood is as old as Alkenstone, as omen beasts, as voicing trees. Each of these with magics no dullard human ever sees. The spell song made us forget all others. But Minnow, learn the river's verses, for only the souls now remember.
Welcome to Valdrest. So Valdrest is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade and mining. It's one of those places where you can meet shady characters or overhear gossip from other lands. It's also where Ciri took on her current contract. High-tech, let's leave Kelpie here and explore the marketplace and food. I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff. Let's see what Valdrest has to offer.
Bugger. Not her again.
Not even at the Lan Exeter Fair! Now, 9 gazes while I present him with a fish. For the furry rascal will often wait, and a fair's weight grants good fortune.
Here, have they?
Pardon.
Guys, notice how responsive the world is. Character actions directly affect what happens around you, sometimes even setting off chain reactions. Everything is working together. Oh, look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent.
Last of it, is it? Ready to wait.
Silver, round ones, what jingle in the purse.
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the Ciri quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
You're off your tits again, Wilfred. Get your ass up.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? With Churess. What news of my wagons? No eternity is taking that damn salt to arrive.
I found them. And, well, suffice to say, they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I found not one speck. I presume this comes as no surprise to you. Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is of no concern to me.
Shush, shush, shush.
The manticore that flattened your cart and devoured your men? Quite the opposite.
Manticore? No, them winged hellspawn dwell in the arse end of Creighton. Not here.
While Ciri decides what to do about that merchant, let's take a look at the character technology that powers this marketplace. Why don't we listen in on these fishmongers? They're selling their wares, chatting up customers.
Morning, catch this is. Won't find none fresher.
Rugged lady's after one of
Curse. Get this cleaned and gutted for you. You mind, dearest? Into seeing something more. Got mackerel cod, all Braxton's finest.
And there is tons of tech at play here, even in this simple market stall. Metahuman tools, improved Unreal smart objects, chaos cloth, and more.
Yeah, and all of this exists to make sure that the gap in quality between Ciri and NPCs is as small as possible.
Yeah, and closing that gap, it's not just about fidelity, right, but also authenticity. They should react to changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in Pillory isn't exciting enough for Valdrest. Let's grab everyone's attention with a circus. But the great performance deserves a huge crowd though. Let's crank it up.
So you are seeing tons of optimizations here to many of Unreal systems, including an entirely new Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit easily in our 60 FPS budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread. Over 300 animated skeletal mesh agents all going about their business. And the whole point is to leave breathing room for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your players expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You are right, and that's the open world RPG that we're making. But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with Ciri? We are making this game to be the most immersive and ambitious open-world Witcher game ever. And we are making this a reality thanks to our work on Unreal with the team at Epic. I think what we are doing together is going to bring in a new generation of open-world RPGs, and I'm so proud of what we accomplished so far.
We are too.
So we're almost done, but before we go, here's a small gift for all Witcher fans. A first look at Lanexeter.
Onward, Kelby. We've worked.
The continent of Pywell. A land soaked in blood by the battles of those who seek peace and those who seek to shatter it. Here begins the saga of the Grey Names.
There are beings who brought chaos to Providence. The rifts they have created will return everything to nothingness. We seek to correct this.
I had my own mission, seeking out my Greymane comrades.
What I can tell you now is that this mission will restore the disrupted Providence.
For those who have died, for those who have survived, and for those who will live on, this is our mission.
Welcome to the Archipelago, a landmass of over 100 islands, steeped in political intrigue, forgotten magic, and a multitude of adventures to be had. Ours begins on Ijar, a remote island in the northeast. We have come to the town of Melhelm, at the behest of Lady Ravensworth, stepmother to the local baron in search of information. Rumors have been circulating of strange occurrences around the tomb of Lord Godsend, a former rival to the baron who met his end at our own hands. We were sent to seek out Niles, an informant for the Order of St. Latra. But it seems the door is locked. Must be another way in.
world fall to ash, consumed by the void. Try as I might to quell their advance, 'twas all for naught. Some say time stops for no one. Neither man nor God, living nor dead. Yet what then of those who deigned to turn back the hands of fate? To save what remains of our broken worlds, you need only take my hand. Return to the past, where your journey awaits.
My name is Tristan, a cartographer from the capital who suddenly found himself way too far from home. My job brought me to Greyshaft, one of the islands of our kingdom. Greyshaft is beautiful, that much is certain. The island's thick forests hold many secrets. The Prime Strider's ruins await those who dare to hear the echoes of the past. And treasure might be buried just under your feet. Just don't get lost. And if you do, keep walking until you see a clearing, or a field of crops, or a creek where the villagers argue if they should go looking for someone who hasn't returned from the moors. A part of the island is covered in frost at any time of the year, and even the ancient volcano can't break the shackles of winter. Some Greyshaftians treat the island as a living being. They warn against waking it up when it falls asleep. Those who work from dawn to dusk rush to the safety of their homes before the creatures of the dark come out. Plenty of dangers await within the city walls too. Dangers that are hard to avoid even in broad daylight. The weather here is as capricious as life itself. A soothing breeze may grow into a squall, drowning the island in lashing rain. Even now, I can feel the storm coming. You must never lower your guard on Greyshaft. The beasts are bloodthirsty, the monsters are ruthless, and scavengers are fighting for every piece of meat on a bone. And have you seen the local bugs? Cursed abominations! Even the well-trodden roads are swarming with bandits willing to kill for a handful of coins. Greyshaftians are quick to judge, and their judgment is stiff. Think before saying anything, and think twice before doing anything. I will have to be careful. Even the slightest mishap may lead to grave consequences. I hope that there still are some decent people here. The whole island can't be populated with bandits only, can it? I could join the Order of the Seven. The knights seem noble and skilled in battle. I also heard rumours about the Free Hunters, a group of brave men who bow before no one and believe in justice for all. And it's just a couple of many different factions vying for power in here. You never know who you'll meet next. This new world is tempting, and this temptation is hard to resist. Greyshaft may not look too inviting, but it warms up to those with a brave heart and a curious mind. Everyone finds their share of discoveries here, and only the one knows what his island has in store for me.
Heroes, do you? Well, you have come to the right place. Because who better to tell you all about them than perhaps the greatest hero of them all? Yeah? There he is, in all his finery. Cheers. I mean, sure, you get your mega fans.
You are like literally my favourite person.
Your haters.
It's like a fan club, but we hate you.
Your chancers. And the occasional giant toad. For some reason. But it's more than that. It's about the choices you make.
I'm a hero. I should do what I want.
You thought you could save her?
You know, it's your life and death stuff. That's what defines you, doesn't it? Really, stays with you. I knew this one hero. I took her in when she had nowhere else to go. Welcome to the most exclusive club in all of Albion. Thought I'd get her out there, make the most of her gift. But you know what it's like when you're young and you have a point to prove. I tell you, this kid, she had it all. The skill, the talent, the power. She was something else, all right. She was terrifying. So, yeah, I knew this girl once who made all the wrong choices.
Humphrey?
She's back.
You may think you know how the game is played. But this is not the game you know. This is your legacy. You decide who wins and who dies. Game of Thrones. War for Westeros.
What's your story? Why'd they throw you in? Look, usually I'm the guy who gives the Greenbloods the rundown. But a rock slide cut us off from the valley, so I have other things on my mind right now. Just try to find somewhere well sheltered. Our boys sighted a shadow beast near the canyon.
Wait, a real shadow beast?
In the flesh. One of the many things in this place just waiting to rip you to pieces.
Wait a second. You're the guy they just tossed in, aren't you? Now, one of our crew, Jorik, has gone missing. Someone saw him climbing around this canyon here, but so far, nothing.
Last time I saw him,
He went on about how their god was talking to him in his sleep.
That god. Is he real?
Monsters have always been here, watching from the shadows. And when we were at our weakest, they came out into the light. We feared for our lives, but we should have feared for our souls instead. The vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule. To turn us into mindless, docile cattle. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead. Their worst nightmare. Trapped between the two worlds. Fighting to even the score. Fighting to understand the evil behind it all.
He is out there watching, seeping into you, growing.
The era of unending peace is past. It is now time for we wolves of war to awaken. Affix your eyes forward, lest you overlook the traces. Keep your ear to the ground, lest you lose the trail. We are the shield that shall not break! We are the sword that shall not bend! O God of steel and fury, give us flesh to hunt! From blood
to learn the truth about the night sky tragedy. Long ago, you humans slaughtered each other until the whole world lay in ruins. And yet, you have been granted another chance in Auroria. It must be the will of your beloved Mother Goddess. However, I still have no trust in your kind. Prove yourself. If you survive this trial, perhaps you might become one of us.